Lusty has been at sea for 60 days. The temperature in the Indian Ocean's reached 40 degrees. But that doesn't stop the Harrier squadron, who've got to prime themselves for their next tour of Afghanistan. Lieutenant Commander Toby Everett has been flying helicopters and Harriers in war zones for the last 16 years, and he's going to be training up the pilots.
The whole point about flying these jets is that you can pretty much fight the aircraft and don't have to take your hands off the stick or the throttle. We have 2 televisions which give us engine data, navigation data and weapon data. This is my head-up display, and here information is projected onto a glass screen so that I can see through it and get speed, attitude and also some aiming information for weaponeering. But actually it's very simple. It's a great big engine. We've got some accelerator and some nozzle levers and a stick to move it around.
To be ready for war, the pilots have to be able to take off and land from an aircraft carrier day or night. Rich Hillard, aka Bolly, has been flying Harriers for 12 years, but even he's got a bit to learn about landing on a ship.
It's probably about the hardest pure flying that we do as pilots on the Harrier. You know, it's a moving platform going through the water at about 30 knots. It can be pitching up and down a bit.
For the first time, he's going to attempt landing in poor light conditions, just after sundown. Toby takes up his position as landing safety officer in Flight Command. He'll be talking Bolly down.
Really all we've got to work with is the radios to make sure that we've got communications with the guys. Worst case, we would be telling them that they're getting close to the sea and they need to eject.
Toby also uses a sight. This has a series of parallel lines with a middle marker indicating the centre line of the ship. As it approaches, the jet's landing light should be seen between the middle and the right marker. Toby monitors the jet's flight path between the sight lines. The jet will drop down the sight and he lets the pilot know he's descending on the correct angle by calling on the Roger.
It has no naughty connotation whatsoever. So no, it's not Roger the cabin boy, no.
Now it's twilight, Bolly starts his approach run.
Turn right further 2 degrees, 222, slightly left on glide path.
Wind is red 5 at 30 knots, approaching the Roger from below.
Got so few references as we come down. He's vital to our safety.
There's the Roger.
That's the Roger. 0.3.
Once we're close alongside, we're really hanging on this voice that's coming from Flyco, and it's generally a nice soothing voice.
That's a good contact.
There's a lot going on in the cockpit. Your hands moving around from the throttle to the nozzle lever, constantly trying to maintain the right attitude when you're alongside the boat.
12. That's a nice position.
Officers Flight Cougar 1 recovered.
Now that the guys have scared themselves senseless, they'll go and relax and have a light refreshment on the quarter deck.
By that, he means they're hosting a cocktail party.
Nice to get out of the way. It was something, it's been hanging over us for the last couple of weeks. From here on, we're now going to keep hammering away at the night stuff. But tomorrow, we've got a day off, so that's quite good because we get to have a quick drink. Drinking something called Short Lift Wet, which is it's an old Sea Harrier drink, and it traditionally you give to the new guys who hovered alongside the boat for the first times.
Nine deck is where you find the marine engineers. These are the fellas that keep Lusty running. On the ship, they're known as stokers. It comes from the time when sailors were needed to stoke the coal furnaces of the boilers that powered the engine. Now the ship runs on diesel, but there's plenty to keep the stokers busy. Second in charge of this male-dominated world is Lieutenant Commander Helen Ashworth.
Mr. Richmond, into the computer room, please. Find out if the WEs have got everything that they need.
I don't think that your gender has any effect whatsoever on the way you do your job. I'm not treated any different than the lads.
Someone else who fancies life as a marine engineer is 19-year-old steward Rachel.
Thank you very much, thank you.
And it's not just because her new boyfriend's a stoker.
Ever since I was dead little, I was breaking things just so I could fix it again. And most girls were playing with Barbie dolls and I was fixing a toaster.
So Rachel's come to see Helen about doing some work experience.
OK, Marine Engineering Guide. OK, keep that in your big pocket at all times. That tells you all of the different systems that you're going to be working with. Make the most of this week, because this will be the week that decides for you whether you really do want to go for the branch transfer. You will either love it or you will hate it.
It's Rachel's first day on work experience with the Marine Engineers. She's about to meet the stoker she'll be shadowing.
Hi guys. This morning we have a guest. She's transferring from the stewards branch to the ME branch. So obviously today you've been volunteered to be our mentor. So the first job I'd like you to walk around there, do a set of dailies.
Top of the list, fixing a leaking shower in the girls' bathroom.
First of all, to stop the leaks, you have to shut the isolations off in the showers. So, if I go shut them, stop down here, just watch that water stop.
Rachel tries the oldest trick in the book.
Whiskey, did you try turning the shower off?
I tell you what, bloody hell, you make a good stoker, Rach. Even we forget things at time. Right, let's go back.
I've just done my first job and it's really good and whiskey's my old pride in the process, but I've just fixed some of it, so I feel really good about myself at the moment. And now the girls can take a shower without a leak.
Down on 9 deck, there's a dirtier job for the stokers to get stuck into. It's going to need all their brain and brawn, because they've got to change one of the 4 Rolls-Royce Olympus engines. Luckily, they keep a spare one on board.
Usually it's a planned change of an engine, so you wait until you get to Portsmouth, but because this one's broken and we're on deployment, we need to change it as quickly as possible.
Lusty drops anchor in the Indian Ocean.
I want a sit rep at the end of day 1 to say the engine change is commencing. Our watch leaders are Chief Higginson is one watch leader and Chief Palmer is the other watch leader.
Helen and the team prepare for the most ambitious job any of them will undertake at sea.
I'm a very sad engineer and I think it's amazing. And actually, so do most of the engineers on board. We've got lots of volunteers from other departments who want to come and help us, because in 16 years I've only seen an engine change at sea done once.
It takes 4 hours just to winch the 3.5-ton engine out. It's the marine equivalent of those used on Concorde. As the replacement is prepared to be installed, the old one is brought up to the flight deck to be stored. The mid-afternoon heat has got too much for Rachel.
Can you just switch that off just now, please?
Whilst in the stoker's control room, she fainted and hit her head.
At the moment, she stood down for 24 hours, which means that she's not allowed to work for 24 hours. Our machinery spaces are very, very hot. We have very steep ladders, and we do need people to be physically fit before they come down to us.
After visiting the sick bay, she's up and about to tell her boss in the stewards department what happened.
What were you doing? Stokery things?
I was just stood there talking about my day, and then I stacked it and I hit my head and I was unconscious for like 2 minutes. And because of that, I've been stood down for 24 hours.
Well, never mind. Well, you want to be a stoker, don't you?
I want to go back to work, but I was like, come on, sir, to one of the surgeons, like, come on, you can put me on, like, no, you're unconscious, 24 hours off.
Are you all right? You got like dizzy head and all that?
No, I feel fine.
What can I say? Wear a crash out or something. Go on, see you later.
See you later.
Rachel's twin brother Shiner is working in the bakery. She's come to see him for some support.
Well, it's going to give you to get better, but, you know, milking it, yeah.
Milking it.
Okay, bye.
Right, I'll see you later, okay? Brother's lovely. He was a bit worried. He's made us some get well biscuits. He says that they keep my energy up and everything, so I'll have them later.
And Stoker Dave, Rachel's new boyfriend, has heard the news on the grapevine.
It's too exciting and just stuck to it. Just couldn't wait to be a stoker and fell over. So as long as she's fine, isn't she? Great. Got to get back to work. See you later. See you in a bit.
The hardened and more experienced stokers have been putting up with the sweltering conditions to get Lusty on the move again.
New engines now in, brand new Rolls-Royce Olympus gas turbine, fully tested, good to go, back out on exercise.
Marine engineering isn't the most glamorous job.
The thing about being an engineer on the ship is you get absolutely skanking. But baby wipes are the best invention ever. But you do pamper yourself a little bit. My husband's great. He always gets me this oil stuff. You go down the naffy and you really haven't got that much of a choice. And this smells lovely. But I'm afraid I don't do much in the way of beauty, but a little bit of oil, a little bit of face cream, and that'll keep me on the go. But when I go home, the first thing my husband always does is books me into the hairdresser. Yeah. Can I help you?
That's a particularly nice shot.
Yes. And you never, ever get any peace. Never.
All right, I'll tell you this information later.
Thank you. See, exactly that. You never, ever get any peace. So what little bit of time you do get on your own, you just have to make the most of it. It's quite strange. One of the biggest compliments you can get is that the guys have forgotten that you're a girl. And you don't really appreciate it until you do dress up to go out. And people that speak to you day in, day out just walk past you. Even my deputy did it to me. You know, and he's known me for 10 years.
On 8 Deck, the naffy stores do a roaring trade in all the extras. Toiletries, cigarettes, chocolate, and so far they've sold 55,000 cans of lager, 22,000 cans of cider and 6,000 pot noodles.
So wait, please, Dan.
The Navy, Army and Air Force Institutes was formed in 1921 and is now run by Spar Supermarkets who employ civvies.
You know, when you're at sea, everyone sees you as part of being in the Navy anyway. You have to do action stations, emergency stations.
You've got to get used to the routines that they do, like getting up 7 days a week at the same time and things like that. I like my bed and I don't get to stay in it as much as I want to, but it's okay. Bit of a prison.
And there's another downside to being in the middle of the ocean. Stocks are running low and getting them replenished isn't exactly easy.
From January the 21st when we set off, it was full up. Basically, we were climbing over everything to get to what we needed for stores to go upstairs to our shop. Within the space of 2 months, this is what we're down to.
They desperately need a delivery, but instead of docking, they meet up with one of these, a floating supermarket for what they call a RAS, Replenishment at Sea.
OK, for today will be our rig 6 to Illustrious's rig 13, his sliding pad icer.
The Fort Austin is part of the Royal Fleet Auxiliary, and their stores manager has just received Lusty's shopping list.
We've got everything from the metal buckets, we've got blue paper towels, round paper bags, frozen goods, potatoes, mushrooms, the soft drinks, and more frozen goods.
Yeoman M2, indicate to the Fort Austin from the Illustrious. By visual means, I'm commencing my approach.
To get 10 tons of shopping from one moving ship to another in the middle of the Indian Ocean is a mission. Illustrious pulls up alongside Fort Austin. They fire a line between the ships and they pass the delivery across using a hydraulic rig. So they'll have to keep just 40 metres apart for the next 3 hours. In charge of today's operation is Lusty's Deputy Head of Logistics.
We've got ammunition coming across first, then we're going to be looking at bringing some provisions across, and finally, more important to ship's company, hot, particularly in this weather, a bit of beer and some Ribena also.
Royal Fleet Auxiliary ships like Fort Austin are part of the Navy, but they're crewed by merchant seamen, like Chief Petty Officer Dave Edney.
We're civilian employed. We're all work for the Ministry of Defence, but we're obviously, none of us are service personnel. All the RFA ships now are heavily involved in conflicts all around the world, and we've just recently taken part in 2 Gulf Wars.
David's daughter Penny happens to be on Illustrious, but after 64 days as a ship's steward, she's fed up.
I've had enough of this on her now. I've had enough of doing jobs that I don't want to do anymore. Like, now I'm standing here in toilets, clean them. I didn't know I'd always be doing that for 3 months solid. Never knew that. The hardest thing about it is, I think, that if you've had a down day, it's not like you can go, all right, I'm going home now. You've got to be on here. You've got to live, sleep, eat with the same people you do every single day.
But Penny's in for a treat. She's getting a free ride to Fort Austin with the RAS.
Yeah, really excited. I'm really happy. I never thought I'd ever do it. And eventually I'm actually going to see my dad, really close to him, so just really excited. It's really scary at the moment. I feel like I'm going to fall over the back of this boat. It is quite fun though.
Oh, it's great to see her. You know, I mean, it's been a little while now since I've seen her. It's the first time, obviously, in my career in the RFA that I've seen her on board, actually, with her deployed on another ship.
The father-daughter reunion has gone to plan, but the ship-to-ship transfer between Lusty and Fort Austin has gone a bit pear-shaped.
Well, at the minute, there seems to be a few problems. We were hoping to get 30 loads over there, which would normally take about 3 hours, 10 an hour.
Lusty's winch is playing up, but the delay gives Penny some more time to spend with her dad.
On this ship, I think it's a lot more laid back, is in the ways of how they go about things. Not everything's rushed.
Whereas on a warship, they've got the aircraft on board and they fly in 24/7, whereas we get up on the decks a lot more. We've got more freedom. We've got individual cabins for everyone. The Navy see it as a bit of a glamour in terms of a hotel-type lifestyle.
After 2 hours, the RAS has come to a grinding halt.
Quite disappointing, really, because the next load that was going to come across would be quite good for ship's morale. A bit of beer coming across for the sailors, pot of nappy stores.
On Fort Austin, it's time for Penny to return to Lusty.
You know, but don't let anything get you down. You know, try and let everything go over your head. It's not a bad life, is it? Really, it could be a lot worse. So really make the effort. And your mum's proud of you, really. I'm proud of you. So.
Bye! Bye! Wish you're ready!